Welcome back to another episode of What Are You Made Of with your boy, the unstoppable Mike C-Roc. I am in the house today with a gentleman that I found through a course I'm taking at the Wharton School of Business called How to Build a Unicorn. And his book or an article that he may have written or a blog post that he wrote was used in the course as a reference, and it intrigued me. So I reached out to him, and I'm going to encourage you today to do that. When you see someone that you connect with basically on what you're, whatever you're into at the time, or, something you believe in, or you want to just find out more about someone, reach out to them and, connect with them, because I'm telling you, some of the most amazing things have happened in my life when I've done that. So without further ado, James Church is the author of the Amazon bestselling book, Investable Entrepreneur, how to convince investors your business is the one to back, and co-founder of Robot Mascot, the UK's leading pitch agency. He's on a mission to stop great ideas failing due to poor communication, and is frustrated to see so many founders struggle to raise the capital they need because they're unable to convince investors their business is the one to back. He speaks internationally at online and offline business events, conferences, and accelerators, and has been featured in Entrepreneur Magazine and Forbes. Also, How to Build a Unicorn course by the Wharton School of Business. James, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me. So thrilled to be here, and what an incredible way for you to find me as well through that course. That's fantastic to know that I've broken America, which is good to know.
Yeah, I mean, I think it is cool, man. And I've seen that with this podcast going global, and when you have that access, and I love to see other people go through that as well. It's just amazing. But look, we have the tradition of starting the show with this question right here. What are you made of, James?
So I think I'm made of belief. I'm made of the belief that as an entrepreneur, you can use the power of innovation to really not just change your own life, but the life of others through solving the world's most meaningful problems. So yeah, belief for me, seeing what these entrepreneurs can do and the things they can change is what gets me up and gets me going in the mornings.
Yeah, I love that. I mean, you're only going to go as far as you believe, right?
Absolutely. So, all about belief.
Yeah. Do you believe that it starts with belief, and making sure that belief is high enough, and then stepping into that belief, and then just doing everything that your thoughts, words, and actions go towards that belief? Is that how you work it? Or
yeah, I think there's probably two types of entrepreneur, isn't there? There's ones that will just back themselves, and they believe themselves, and they're relentless, and they know they will succeed. And then there's those that need to be reassured that and given the opportunity to believe in themselves. Yeah, we work with both types, and we see both types, and it's almost more rewarding allowing entrepreneurs that have got a great idea but are maybe questioning themselves, and being able to give them the belief that they can actually do this, and they can go and raise investment, and they can change the world, is possibly more rewarding for me personally. But yeah, I think everyone has it in them, yeah, having belief to back yourself to succeed is the first step, I think.
And what type are you?
I'm that relentless kind of will never give up, dog with a bone kind of, if you get knocked down, get back up again, and you will succeed. So yeah, I'm questioning belief in myself. I'm that type, and I want to bring that power to I enjoy working with those that don't have the belief in themselves, and give them that belief, and seeing that transformation. So
awesome, man. I've gotten several businesses, and like I've mentioned before, I'm in 2 tech startups right now, and also a project that's launching, building, scaling, and selling 10,000 tech companies. So in the next 10 years. So what I came up with this analogy the other day, and I just want to hear your thoughts on this. But there's like a Super Ball. You know what a Super Ball is, right? The ones that are really bouncy, super bouncy balls. Yeah. The kids play with. Well, being an entrepreneur is kind of like, and actually life is kind of like this. It's a Super Bowl. You go down and you hit the ground. And once you hit the ground, that's like going into a target or goal that you're trying to achieve, or mission. You hit the ground, you fail, or you don't get the expected outcome, because failure is basically you're not getting what you think you should get, right? You hit the ground, you gather a bunch of data, and then you bounce back up with that data. Now you have more data, but you've kind of failed. Then you come back down and bang into the ground again. You gather more data, and now you add that to the data, and it compounds, and then you bounce back up because you didn't get the expectation again. And you just do that over and over again. And those are the successful business founders, CEOs, successful people in life. Now, there's most people, though, are like medicine balls, when they go and they get the ground, they just stick there and they hit there and that's it. Right. So do you see that analogy working in what you've been, experiencing?
Absolutely. Failure. It's really interesting. I think I was writing an article, or I was talking to someone about this the other day, the attitude to failure between the States and the UK, especially with what we see with helping founders raise investment. And I think in the States, failure is how you describe, like it's a badge of honor. It's like, I've learned from this, I'm not going to make that mistake again. And now we've got more data, we can move on and we're going to succeed. And actually, you look at the unicorn founders, and most of them have some kind of failed business in their past before they succeed. Whereas the UK, we're much more reserved. We're failures a very negative thing, and no one likes to talk about their failures, and they shy away from them, and they're scared to make those mistakes and make those failures, which kind of goes back to that belief thing I was talking about, not having the belief because you don't want to be the person that failed, and trying to switch that mindset to founders in the UK versus founders in America. It's a really interesting dynamic between that perception of failure. But yeah, I 100% believe you have to fail to succeed, and it's what you learn. That's the important thing, right? It's what you learn from it and what you implement as a result of it that leads to success.
Now, are you trying to be an innovator with regards to talking more about failure in the UK and encouraging that so that other people can learn? Because one thing about this show, What Are You Made Of? This show is designed to expose people's journey to success, because most of the journey is invisible. And when people go out to try to do something, if you're in the UK and failure is not talked about, when folks go out to do something and they fail at it the first time, a lot of them will give up because of the fact that they think that James didn't go through that. C-Roc didn't go through that. Right. So are you trying to take on that responsibility?
Yeah, to be honest, it's not a particular angle that I've spoken about too much, but I'm kind of thinking now I probably should.
I agree. I agree.
A new angle, a new stream of content I can start producing. So thanks.
Yeah. Put that on the content wheel, man. Put that on the content wheel. So where did your stubbornness, I'll call it, or relentlessness or inexorability, where did that come from?
I don't know. I've always backed myself. I remember being at school, and there was at the end of school, they did kind of like awards for the kids at the end of, voted by the kids for the kids at the end of our kind of final year. And one of them was like, who was going to be most successful? And I wasn't even nominated, and I was like so pissed off about it, really. And I was just like so determined that I was going to make a big success of something. I always wanted to have a business. I always wanted to be successful in business, and I was really annoyed that none of my peers had recognized that for some reason. And I don't know why. I'd never really told anyone about it, but it really annoyed me. And I think that really gave me that drive. And I can only think that I got that from my father, I think, because he dropped out of school at kind of 15, 16 and started as like a mail boy in the delivery service, and worked his way up to kind of a very senior management level. Ended up with an MBE here in the UK, which is an award from the Queen, which is a really big honor to have. There's only a handful of people in the world. So he's worked his way up from kind of dropping out of school at 16 as a delivery boy, and working his way up into this kind of senior position, getting awards from the Queen. And I think he's probably is responsible for that belief, because he's backed himself throughout his life. So I think I must have picked up on it. And that's, made me who I am, I think.
Awesome. So then take us back to being a kid. Like, where did it all start for you? Did you go to college, university? Did you take us back? However far back you want to go, just kind of paint the picture of the ingredients that have gone into making James who you are today.
Yeah. So started at university, studied graphic design, was really into sort of design and how that influenced people. And again, on that course, I had so much ambition. I wanted to create, this branding agency. I wanted to kind of design stuff and be known for being a really good designer. And I was getting really frustrated that I was only ever getting 2 1s and not firsts, which is how I don't know if that's how you grade things over in America, but we have like first is the best degree you can get, and it's 2 1 2 2. Third, I was getting 2 1s. I really wanted to push for a third. Went to my tutor and said, what do I need to do with my work to get it to that next level? And he said, don't worry about it, because out of everyone in this year, you've got the most commercial portfolio. I can guarantee you'll be the first person to get a job. You won't get the highest grade, but you'll be the first person to get a job because you'll be sought after in the industry, because you take design and you make it commercial. It's your portfolio is essentially an agency's portfolio. It's not just kind of pretty design stuff. You really think about why you're designing something and who it's for and making it functional. So and he was right. I got my first job at an agency before we'd even finished our last year. I already had a contract, and as soon as I finished, I started that job, and that kind of gave me, that validation I needed, that I was good enough to do this. Met my business partner, my now business partner, at that job. I was really struggling to transition from kind of a university where you had all the time in the world to work on your projects to kind of a commercial environment where there was timelines and deadlines and time is money. And it just wasn't kind of what I thought working at a creative agency was like. It was quite stale. The boss wasn't particularly a particularly great boss. He kind of ruled with an iron fist, and he kind of made you feel shit about everything, which and stifled creativity. And my now business partner came in as a creative director, as a freelancer, and I was kind of like, this is what I thought working at a creative agency is like. This guy is what I thought it would be like. And he's sort of 10 years older than me. So I was kind of looking up to him, and I kind of made it my mission to become his friend, and just kind of shadowed him around. He thought I was this annoying kind of kid out of uni to begin with, and was just like, come on, just give me some space, leave me alone. And I was like, no, be my friend. And then kind of learned as much as I could from him. He really took me under his wing after I wore him down, I think, and took me under his wing and really started to kind of teach me kind of how we create things and execute on things in the real world. And we ended up doing some projects out of work together. We started our first business together about a year after that, which completely failed within kind of 9 months. We had absolutely no idea how to run a business. We knew we could create great work together, but no idea how to get leads and get customers and manage customers and all of that kind of stuff. So we really struggled, and we learned a lot along the way. Went our separate ways for a bit. I got some jobs at various kind of companies and agencies as a designer, and then I had another guy take me under his wing who was a senior marketing manager, and his job was to come in as a change around coach for about 6 months, turn this business around that was failing, and replace himself with a marketing manager. And I was there as the designer. And he basically turned around to the board and said, you know what you need to do? You need to hire James in that marketing role, and you need to put him on a course to get a second degree, but this one in marketing, because he's capable. He's been learning from me over the last 6 months. He knows this business really well. He's got great ideas. He can really push this forward. And that's what they did. They took it. They took him at his word and put me on this program, promoted me to marketing manager, and I ended up in marketing, which is not something I ever thought I'd do. And that really gave me the experience I needed to go and understand how to gain customers, make sales, and do that kind of thing. And met back up with my original mentor, now business partner, and we started our second business, which was Robot Mascot. And here we are today with this niche agency, helping people communicate their brand to investors to raise investment. So quite a journey, but lots of role models, lots of mistakes, lots of failing and succeeding along the way. But
so first of all, I would like to ask you a question about Robot Mascot in a minute, but before I do that, when you have a setback or something that doesn't go the way you expect it to, like when that ball goes into the ground and bounces, what do you have a process that you go through that's repeatable, or do you just handle it differently every time?
I think my process is always to depends the situation, but let's say it's something goes wrong in the business because of either a team member or a client. Something's happened. Mm-hmm. It's to never blame the client or the team member or the people involved in the issue, but to actually look at myself and kind of go, there's a problem with the way that I instructed that, or the way that our processes are set up, or there's a problem with our systems, or there's something I call an asset deficiency. There should be something that would leverage, that the team can leverage, that would have stopped that mistake happening, and just kind of looking more kind of operationally at it and kind of going, no one's ever to blame. We don't kind of pass blame, but we look at kind of what happened and how can we mitigate that? How can we stop that happening again by putting in changing a system, putting in a process, building an asset to stop that thing happening again. And that's how the business has been built over the last 8 years, is just kind of find a problem, review kind of where that problem came from, what was the root cause, and then create something that will fix it.
Yeah, I love that. One of my core values is 100% take 100% responsibility. That doesn't mean that you take fault or you blame anyone or blame yourself or anything. It's responsibility, right? Response. And then the second word, ability, ability to respond. Right. And so I love what you said, that's a crucial role in a business and entrepreneurship and success. Crucial. A matter of fact, I don't think you can have success to a degree that you need to without that. So I love that answer. And so tell us, what is exactly Robot Mascot? What is the exact value proposition that business offers?
Yeah, so basically we create investment materials that convince investors. So we help entrepreneurs who have incredible ideas, but struggle to kind of articulate them to an investor. They maybe don't understand exactly what it is investors are looking for, and help them articulate and shape their business case in a way that an investor will understand it, they'll want to engage with it, and they'll want to ultimately end up backing it and putting money behind it. So principally, we're producing kind of business plans, financial projections, pitch materials, and valuation reports for our clients. But it's all through the lens. The thing that sets us apart is that it's all through the lens of communication. So even a financial spreadsheet we see as a marketing tool for selling something. And in this case, you're selling your shares to an investor. And these are essentially key marketing materials for you to close possibly the biggest deal you've ever done, which is $1 million investment in your business or whatever it is. It's probably the biggest deal you've ever done, and you need to be treating these funding assets as kind of marketing materials to communicate your message, communicate that you as a founder are someone they can trust, someone that they can believe in, buy into, and trust with their money. So that's our whole purpose, really.
I love that take on it. You're taking the boring old numbers and you turning them into marketing, something to get attention, right? And so you're kind of like, we talk about promotion a lot. Promotion is one of the most important things. Promote. I can't say it enough, but you're not just promoting your business and what your value proposition is, but everything in your business, including yourself, your core values, your mission, your financials. You're promoting everything. I love that, man. That's like a great way to look at that. I'm really want to hammer that with my team about like even the boring stuff. Let's promote the boring stuff too. Let's make it sexy. Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
And,
you've got more stakeholders than just your clients. So shareholders, whether, shareholders, directors, whoever's associated with your business, if you treat every bit of communication to them as a piece of promotion, they're going to buy into your vision more. They're then going to support you more. They're then going to refer you to more people, or whatever it is, the relationship you have with that person. It's all about communication.
Yeah, I love that. So in regards to your book, Investable Entrepreneur, you want to give us like maybe that's got to be one of them in there. You got to be talking about that, right? In the book, making everything sexy, making everything promotional.
Yeah. I mean, writing the book was an incredible process. Just kind of having all this knowledge that we'd built up over the years about how to convince investors. And I was getting asked the same questions again and again and again by founders. And I thought, you know what, I need to put all this down into a book. I need to get this out there. I need to, I want to support as many founders as possible. I had sort of a personal target of helping sort of 100,000 founders raise investment. Well, I can't do that on my own on a one-to-one basis, but I can if I distribute content. So it started with blog posts and then it ended up going, actually, I can put this into a book and really support people. And it's been an incredible journey and a really, really incredible process to kind of get your thinking, everything out of your head and put it into a book form. It's quite a liberating process.
Yeah. Now, as we wind down here, 2 more questions. What are a couple tips in there besides the one we just talked about in your book that entrepreneurs should be thinking about, whether they're tech entrepreneurs or normal business entrepreneurs are looking for capital? Like, what are a couple other things that they would find in the book?
So the first is really understanding the mind of an investor. So they're looking for three things really. First is that they're looking for someone who's highly resourceful, can get people to buy into their vision. So you need to be really good at kind of communicating, getting people excited by your vision. They're also looking for someone who understands the financial risks, doesn't just focus on the financial rewards, but kind of can mitigate, understand how to mitigate risks and protect the investment. And then finally, they're looking for someone who creates commercial success. They know how to get from where they are now to a highly exitable, highly valuable business, and they have a strategic plan both in the short and the long term to actually get there. So if you can crack those three things, if you can impress upon an investor that you have what it takes to achieve all those three things, then you're a much higher chance of securing investment than if you just talk about how great your idea is.
Yeah. So number one, what you just talked about was being able to sell, right? Like that's what that one comes down to.
Yeah.
Right? Being able to sell.
Find your vision. So get people to believe in you. Yeah.
Yeah. Sales is such an important part of any role, even if you're not in like a salesperson. You have to be able to get people to get on board with you. Like that's like, and all throughout our lives. I mean, we have to be able to sell our spouses on things. We have to be able to sell our friends. I had to be able to sell you to come on here. It was easy because you just said yes when I asked you, but I had to be able to get, guests to come on the show. And how does that happen? Well, I have to, I'm sure, and I could be wrong, but most people that I ask will check me out on different social media platforms. Maybe they'll look up the show, maybe see what other guests, how many episodes he has. Some might just say yes without doing that. I don't know, but I have to be able to provide a portfolio, so to speak, of content and individual brand out there for people to be able to sell to come on the show. So yeah, I love that, man. I always say,
an entrepreneur's greatest ability is their ability to pitch. And there's a business partner of mine called Daniel Priestley. He's a best-selling author of 4 business books, and something he always says, which I really latched onto and kind of really was a watershed moment for me, was like, you get what you pitch for, you're always pitching. And in entrepreneurship, every conversation you have, every email you send, everything, you pitch stuff into existence, and everything you do is a pitch for something, whether that's sales or partners or whatever it may be, getting someone to come onto your podcast, or everything you do is a pitch. And
100%,
entrepreneurship in that way, you'll succeed, I think.
So James, let's conclude here with this. What's the vision for the future for you? I know you mentioned something about 100,000 entrepreneurs and helping them become investable entrepreneurs. And I love that. I love moonshots. That might even be too small of a number, really, truthfully, because you are powerful, man. But what's the vision for the future for you?
I mean, I think is to help as many founders as possible to raise investment. What we really want is to be able to kind of sit back in 5-10 years time, whenever it is we feel like we're done with this, and kind of look back and kind of say we're there, and kind of have this list of these incredible businesses that we were there to, and we supported them with their pre-seed, seed, or their Series A round, and we were there at the very beginning, and they've gone off and become these massive successes. Seen our founders kind of exit their businesses for life-changing sums, and kind of think, we were there at the start, and gave them that belief, that kickstart that they needed to get things going. So that, to have as many success stories like that, there's no physical number, but as many success stories like that as possible would be phenomenal. Yeah, I
love that, man. I love it. And I'm on that journey myself. So you saw me like light up when you said that, life-changing exits. I want to see that too for tons of people. And you work with tech companies too, not just regular companies?
Yeah. So probably about 80% of our businesses are tech companies, and the rest are kind of more SMEs looking for finance. So.
Awesome. And have you worked in the US at all?
Yeah, we've had clients in the US. In fact, we've got someone from Texas just signed up to our Pitch Ready Sprint, our cohort in May, for one of our services. So yeah, we've got clients all over the world, Australia, Texas, Asia, all over.
Well, let's see how you can get involved with the Project 10K. I'm going to talk to you more after the show about that, James, but I want to thank you for coming on today, man.
No, thanks for having me. It's been an absolute pleasure.
All right, guys, you've been listening to the What Are You Made Of podcast. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for all of your support. If you want to watch these, they're on the YouTube channel, Mike C-Roc Ciorrocco. You can also go subscribe to your favorite podcast platform. Please do so. Share with your friends and family about the value that you get here, and continue supporting us, because I will never, ever, ever let you down. Go check out Blueprinted, the new platform of step-by-step processes from experts that know how to do things in all different categories. You can buy their blueprints. All you got to do is follow their steps a little bit each day, have quick wins on your way to a large win at Blueprinted, BLOO printed.com. Until next time, be unstoppable.